Welcome to HDTV. You're now rocking with your boy. So over the weekend, the NBA and Los Angeles Lakers legend Kareem Abdul-Jabbar publicly criticized LeBron James for some of his actions. Abdul-Jabbar seems to believe that James should be more responsible in the way that he conducts himself due to his influence. Before the Lakers faced off against Denver Nuggets, Abdul-Jabbar commented on some of James' action in the past. He voiced his opinion, stating some of the things he's done and said are really beneath him. As far as I can see, some of the great things that he's done, he's standing on both sides of the fence almost. It makes it hard for me to accept that when he's committed himself to a different take on everything. It's hard to figure out where he's standing. You got to check him out every time. In the past, the now retired NBA star also criticized the moment when James did the Sam Cassell celebration in the match against the Indiana Pacers. He said, "For me, winning is enough. Why do you need to do a stupid childish dance and disrespect the other team on the court? It doesn't make sense. Goats don't dance." Around the time Abdul-Jabbar expressed that he did not think James' post around C19 using the Spider-Man meme was respectable. He said that social media post was a blow to his worthy legacy, as the implication is that LeBron doesn't understand the differences among these three illnesses. Even after all the information that's presented in the press in response to why he is extra critical of James, Abdul-Jabbar said, "Absolutely, I have a higher expectation for him because he understands the issues and spoken to them quite forcefully and eloquently. I think he has so much going for him in terms of respect and accomplishment, and he shouldn't stoop to those moments." He later added his thoughtfulness and willingness to back it up with his wallet. You got to give him credit for that, so I'm not throwing stones. I just wish he wouldn't. Some of the things he's done, he should be embarrassed about. That's just where I'm coming from. While Abdul Jabbar was very open about his reasoning behind expecting more from James, he also took to Twitter to clarify his statements. Okay. Okay, this is on Twitter. Um, Over the years, I've been asked to comment on and write about LeBron James. A couple years ago, I wrote an article for Sports Illustrated about LeBron as a sports person of the year, in which I said this generation couldn't do any better in the hero department than LeBron James. Part of being a hero is to have both the modesty to feel unworthy of such a heavy word and the strength to accept the responsibility that comes with others looking to you to be that hero. What is a hero but someone who stands up for those who can't, who embodies our cherished ideals of sportsmanship, fair play, hard work, and compassion that pretty much describes the LeBron James I've watched and come to know since he was the number one pick in the 2003 NBA draft and was named Rookie of the Year. In the 2 years since I wrote that, my respect and admiration has only grown for LeBron as I watched him champion worthwhile causes while maintaining his status as an elite athlete. As he closes in on my all time scoring record, I've been a cheerleader urging him on. Happy to pass the mantle to someone so worthy as an athlete and a person. LeBron is still the daunting hero I described 2 years ago. He's still a major force in improving lives in the black community. He's still one of the greatest basketball players in history. He's still a man who has earned the overwhelming admiration of millions. And every day he goes out and proves why he deserves that admiration. On occasion, I have chided LeBron when I thought he was dropping the ball when it came to supporting the community. But I did so in the spirit of a loving older brother offering guidance, whether wanted or not. So when I said that he has done some things he should be embarrassed about, that wasn't slam or a barb or even a finger wag. It was me recapping some of what I'd say in the past. The Sports Illustrated article was in homage to LeBron for winning the Muhammad Ali Legacy Award for his role in social activism. So when I think he may be veering from the path that made him win that award, I'll mention it. I'm a journalist. That's what I do. but I believe LeBron is strong enough and gracious enough to understand that I have only love for him in my heart. Okay, so that was written. Basically, so yeah. So yeah, that's how he criticized him. Hold on. So now, so basically, he backtracks saying this frustration Los Angeles Lakers season is taking a toll on the organization. The fans and even former players. That frustration is perhaps what prompted Lakers legend Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to recently criticize superstar LeBron James for actions that are beneath him and for standing on both sides of the fence. James has drawn the ire of Abdul-Jabbar multiple times this season, once for posting a controversial meme about the C-19 virus, and another time for celebrating a clutch three-pointer with a dance made famous by former NBA player Sam Cassell. Perhaps given some time to reflect on his words, Abdul-Jabbar tweeted an apology to James, then took it further with a heartfelt apology to the Lakers superstar during a radio appearance on Monday, as reported by SiriusXM Radio. So I'm going to play that for you. This is Fair Use Act of 1976.
All I have to say is this. I was there, Carmelo Anthony. You know what? All I have to say is this. I was there to give Carmelo Anthony the NBA Social Justice Champion Award. Mm-hmm. I've been talking to the press since high school. That's 60 years of making statements. And I haven't always gotten it right. And Sunday was one of those nights. It wasn't my intention to criticize LeBron in any way. He has done so much for the black community as well as for the game of basketball. We may not always agree, but I want to wholeheartedly apologize to LeBron and make it clear to him that I have tremendous respect for him. And if he can accept that, I'll be very happy.
So basically, that was him responding. Basically, that was a PR move. Lakers told him allegedly, and that was Fair Use Act, and allegedly, the Lakers told him that he needed to clean that up. Now let's see here. Now let's see with the let's see here it is. Let's see with LeBron James' number one cheerleader, Shannon Guzzler, not so sharp. Fair Use Act
criticized LeBron's off-court actions this weekend, saying some of the King's stances and statements are, quote, beneath him. However, Kareem clarified that LeBron's chase for his all-time scoring record has nothing to do with his comments, saying, I'm all for him doing it. There's no envy there. Shannon, what do you think? Do Kareem's comments have anything to do with the scoring record?
I believe it does, because we didn't hear these harsh critiques and these criticisms of LeBron when he was at 25,000, 30,000. It wasn't until he started getting ultra close to Kareem's record that Kareem started offering these harsh critiques of LeBron. I don't know if he just started watching LeBron once he got to the Lakers, but LeBron has always been an animated player. He's always flexed his muscles when he's got an and one. He's always, if he shrugged his shoulders, I shook him off me. They can't hold me down. They tried to hold me down. He's always done that.
He has always done it from year one.
So now, all of a sudden, it seems to be a problem with Kareem. Skip, guy broke my record. I wasn't trying to demand. Yeah, Tony broke my record, but there's some things about Tony Gonzalez.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, if a guy breaks my receiving record, Kittle or one of these guys, but I mean, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna congratulate him. I had the record. I broke somebody's record. Somebody's gonna come along and break mine. That's just the way the sports work.
By the way, our first year on this show, we were in New York City before a UFC.
Yes.
We took our show on the road,
Yes.
remember?
Yes.
And you proclaimed Gronk
Yes.
the GOAT tight end.
Yes.
That was back in 2016, and I thought, that is big of you.
I've seen enough.
Yeah.
When you look at his body of work and the big moments in which he's played and how big he comes up, I'm cool with that. I can't. Now you say, okay, look, Gronk I did what I did. I'm very happy with my career.
You are.
But Gronk is to be commended. Now, who knows? If Kelsey can get a couple more, but these young guys are coming along. But give Gronk his credit. Skip, I don't get why Kareem just can't say, okay, the guy breaks my record. Okay, you broke Wilt. I granted, he and Wilt did not have a very good relationship. Kareem has spoke very openly about there are some things that Wilt did that kind of rubbed him the wrong way.
Yep.
Well, that was off the court, Skip. That was, they asked Wilt, how's the weather up there, and Wilt would say, he spit on him and say it's raining. Okay, I get that. That would rub me the wrong way also. But LeBron's celebration, LeBron antics on the court, when everybody celebrates everything, it doesn't matter. The first quarter, second quarter, game-winning shot, it doesn't even matter. Everybody's celebrating. The sidelines are going crazy. Anytime somebody makes a move, makes someone touch the earth, the sideline is going crazy. It's a different era, Kareem. But I do think some of Kareem's critiques, the criticism, has a lot to do with the scoring record. Because for the last almost 40 years, he's been able to come home and hang his hat on back.
That is correct.
No matter what you think about me as a player, whether I was good or not, I'm the all-time scoring leader.
Why would he care about the scoring
if that goes
title?
away, then what? Nobody
Do
cares
you
about
hear the
second best.
narrative, how they switched it up?
And so I do think
Now
a
it's
lot
about
of what
the
Kareem
scoring
said
title.
yesterday was his true feelings, although he tried to walk some of it back. Nah, bruh, you spoke, because here's the thing, Skip. If you feel a certain way by the person, when you're an actor, you got to remember those lines. But what happens 5, 10 years from now? I guarantee, because Denzel played a character in Training Day. Denzel can't go back and remember all those lines because he was playing a character. But Denzel can remember every line that he ever said about his personal life because that's his life. So when you play a role, Skip, you're going to forget those lines sooner or later, and then you're going to slip up. And so Kareem slipped up because he was playing, LeBron James, the way he conducts himself, the social justice thing that he's done, he's a consummate pro, he's a great representative. Oh, he about to break my record. Oh, yeah, but some of the things that he did off the court, some of the things that should be beneath him. Stop.
Embarrassing he went to.
Stop it, Kareem.
Embarrassing? Okay, to your point. The truth is that the all-time scoring record is the ultimate claim to fame in basketball. In some ways, it's an even more reverential record than Michael's 6-0 in the finals with 6 MVPs because it's the all-time scoring record.
Yes.
No one's ever done what that guy had done.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And it kept him relevant. It kept him not just on the radar, in the center of the radar, because as we approach it next year, he'll be hot interviews. Everybody's going to want to interview Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to read.
And the NBA is going to be flying into a bunch of games.
They will.
Does he break it here? Does he break it there? Does he break it over here? So Kareem's going to get a lot of first-class flight or private jet flight to a lot of different locations.
Okay, so he's 73 years of age, going on 74, and I think he's a very smart man. And
he is. Absolutely.
Deep down, he knows when this is over, it's kind of over. And all of a sudden, nobody's really going to want to interview me anymore. And will they really care about what I write as much as they did before he passed? It's hard on his psyche, and yet the way he's lashing out about it is just incomprehensibly wrong to me.
Right.
And it's why he's admitted he regrets the way he handled the media when he was playing, because he did such damage to his reputation and legacy by how he mistreated the media, because they didn't give him the acclaim that he deserved all along.
Right.
Only now, as we look back and we say, wait a second, that guy scored that many points?
Right. You see what you just said, Skip? He said he regretted how he handled the media. Okay, now you want the media to put you front and center. Kareem should be a head coach. I don't know why Kareem. So that's what they do, Skip. When you're a player and you treat the media a certain way, they will reciprocate that at a later date and time. Well, Kareem, you gave the media your butt to kiss, and now you want them to be front and center pushing for you to get a head coaching job.
Correct. Nope.
No.
So he sends an email of apology last night to the LA Times, and in it he says, on occasion I have chided LeBron when I thought he was dropping the ball when it came to supporting the community, as in the black community.
Right.
What? That's the one that got me. I'm defending LeBron with all my might here. That's the one guy who is above criticism when it comes to social justice crusading, campaigning.
Yes.
How can you, what are you talking about? Because he misconstrued that LeBron posted 3 Spider-Man emojis about, what is COVID? Is it COVID? Is it the flu? Is it a cold? He had just had a false positive that cost him a couple of games.
Correct.
And he's doing this. He's
Right.
doing this on Twitter, like, can somebody please explain?
Right.
What is COVID?
Right.
Well, he's not trying to discount the impact of
Right.
COVID on the black community.
Right.
That's Kareem just swung and missed at that. Then he goes on in the apology email to the LA Times and he says, this was done in the spirit of a loving older brother, so it wasn't a slam or a barb or even a finger wag. It was me recapping some of what I'd said in the past. Well, what he said in the past just this year was he took LeBron to task for the celebration, the Sam Cassell celebration at Indiana. And his criticism at that point was, for me, winning is enough. Why do you need to do a stupid, childish dance and disrespect the other team on the court? It doesn't make sense. Goats don't dance. Well, that's way over harsh. As much as I criticize LeBron, I never do that.
Right.
I wouldn't say goats don't dance. I mean, he's always done that.
Skip.
I feel like Kareem is a little out to lunch here because I don't think he's carefully watched LeBron's career.
Skip, what did Michael do? He was shooting at the free throw line with Dikembe Mutombo. He said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to close my eyes and make a free throw on you. He dunked on Dikembe because Dikembe was the finger wag.
Yeah.
Michael was... Skip, this is a different time. Look, I don't care about the celebration. I mean, some of the celebrations go overboard. But as long as you don't cost your team a penalty, order Uber Eats, order DoorDash. I don't care. If you want to, get in the ambulance and take it for a drive around the field, Skip. As long as it doesn't cost your team a penalty. That's where I got upset with the celebration. You're costing us. Now we got to kick the ball back 15 yards further. You're going to give them better field position. But all this other stuff, if you're not costing your team, have at it. I'm going to laugh like, I don't know if I'd have done that. But Kareem tried to say I chided him for what I thought. Kareem, hold on. You're not the caretaker of the NBA. You're not the rules. Well, if you do this, you can't be considered. What? Guys do a lot of things. Even Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant has started doing like, you too tiny. You too little. That's what guys do now, Skip. All the greats. Steph Curry, you didn't see Larry Bird, Shimmy. Steph Curry shooting the ball and turning and running back up the court. I already know it's good.
Okay, but trust me on this. Michael Jordan and Larry Bird were the 2 greatest trash talkers in the history of this league. But they were subtle about it. They weren't blatant and open. They leaned in your ear and said, you ain't you know what.
Yes.
You can't do
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
That's how and Kareem should have known. Now they probably didn't talk to Kareem because Kareem was a little surly. Kareem, not a whole lot of people talk to Kareem.
This ultimately smacks of, sorry, Jen, real quick. This ultimately smacks of, LeBron, you're not a Laker.
Yeah.
That's what he's trying to say.
And I don't want you to break my record in a Lakers uniform.
Right. That is correct.
Shannon, I know you are enjoying listening to Skip agree with you over LeBron.
Yeah.
But we got to leave it there. We got to leave it there.
So, now, I'm going to put all this in perspective. So if you've left the video, sorry it's long, but I gotta destroy this. This is why I told y'all I don't like Shannon Sharpe as an analyst, and I've been on record destroying him. You know. Now, Magic Johnson, imagine if the Lakers were, were 43-33, which would have put them in the Western Conference playoffs instead of 31-47. Perhaps that kind of record would have been possible if the Lakers did things differently last year and LeBrownies wasn't entrusted with roster decisions in the manner of a general manager. According to former Lakers president of basketball operations, Magic Johnson, he would have done things differently in 2021, like getting DeMar DeRozan and keeping Alex Caruso instead of letting both of them slip away to the playoff-bound Chicago Bulls. So here it is.
Because DeRozan wanted to play for the Lakers, and when I got the call from his agent, I called the Lakers, said, hey, he wants to come home, and DeRozan could have been a Laker instead of a Bull. We could have made that deal, but when Russell and LeBron and them started talking, that's when they nixed that deal and went with Westbrook, and he became a Laker instead of DeRozan. And I think with DeRozan, and then you had a chance to keep the role players, Caruso, KCP, all those guys who are our best defenders, see, they left. And that's why we were a bad defensive team. But if you sign DeRozan, you only trade Kuzma for Buddy Hield, we would be playing in the Western Conference Championship this year with those two guys. You know?
So basically, he's saying what we've been saying now. Now let's hear. So now let's hear let's go to these guys who, let's see what they say about Magic Johnson when he says something. So we're gonna I'm getting it in all degrees, dog. This is gonna be a long video, so you might as well get prepared.
In an interview yesterday, Magic Johnson says LeBron bears the responsibility for his role in the Lakers' underperforming roster
Fair
this
use
season.
that, fair
Saying,
use that.
when I think about it, the blame that he has to take is the fact that DeRozan ended up in Chicago and not with the Lakers. DeRozan wanted to play for the Lakers, but when Russell and LeBron and them started talking, that's when they nixed that deal and went with Westbrook. Interesting. Shannon, what's your take here? Does LeBron deserve some of this blame?
Damn, is Magic family? Magic be airing all the teeth within the family circle. I thought he and Jeannie were like brothers and sisters. I think this was he still got it in for Rob Pelinka.
He does.
This
I agree.
It's all about Rob. Skip, look. And I get what Magic's saying, but it's hard for me to see a scenario where I'm going to place the blame at LeBron's feet. Because at the end of the day, general managers and player personnel directors and presidents don't call LeBron. They call Rob Pelinka. And I understand that it's hard to tell a guy like a LeBron James no. But Jerry Krause did it. It was very successful. Every person that Jerry Krause, Michael Jordan wanted, Jerry Krause went in the opposite direction, and it was the best move.
A bunch of them were Tar Heels.
They
were.
He did.
Like Al
Woods.
Yeah.
Skip, if you think about it, it's the guys that didn't play basketball that are the best at this. The Sam Presties, the R.C. Bufords, the guys of that nature.
I agree.
That never played the game. And guys like Michael Jordan, the guys like Magic Johnson, they struggle. I believe LeBron, because LeBron is looking at it from a distance. You have to look at a guy, okay, man, that guy's really balling. But how would he play with me? See, he didn't see Russ like, Russ had the ball in his hand, bro. So if he comes to you, are you moving off the ball permanently? Or is he going to have to spend the majority of the time off the ball? If you look at Russ games, Russ plays best when what, Skip? LeBron's not playing. So now he's on the ball.
Although when Russ played by himself, he's 0-5, but go ahead.
Yeah, but his numbers look good. You see, his numbers look good, though, Skip.
And that's all that matters to him.
There it lies, Skip.
Yep.
So even if LeBron says yes,
and it don't
I
matter to
think
LeBron
DeRozan
about
had more
numbers.
to do with that third
Didn't
year.
y'all just say he's playing for numbers,
Russ
right?
getting involved because Chicago was willing to guarantee the third year at $30 million, and the Lakers were not willing to guarantee a third year at all. It makes it very, very easy for DeMar DeRozan. Like, well, okay, Chicago, here I come. Did people forget DeMar DeRozan is from L.A.? He went to USC, just like Russ is from L.A., went to UCLA. He's a hometown kid, too.
Yeah, I mean, he grew up here, too. Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah.
He wanted to be here. Anybody that saw my...
He's straight out of Compton, I think.
Straight out of Compton.
Okay.
He was on my podcast, Skip, and you listen, and that was before free agency actually started. And you hear him talk, I'm willing to make some concessions as far as salary to make it work for the Lakers. Now, ain't nobody making no $30 million concession, Skip. Ain't nobody doing that, nor should he. But to say like LeBron, Rob Pelinka has an obligation. Jeannie Buss put him in charge, not LeBron. And I know it's hard to tell these superstars no. But at the end of the day, Skip, you've got to do what's best interest of the team, not the best interest of one individual. Now, I do believe LeBron was trying to say, I believe Russ will help us. But, Rob, you've been around this thing long enough. You know what Russ is. You know Russ needs the ball. You know Bron is going to have the ball. What in God's green earth made you think that this was going to work? But like I said, I still think Magic think Rob undercut him at some point. Because there are a lot of things that, I still believe that he and Jeannie Buss are close. I do believe they have a brother-sister type relationship because they damn near the same age and they came up together in the organization. But Skip, I never seen anything like this, Skip. I've never seen anything like what Magic did yesterday. I've never seen anything like it. So, he let that all the tea.
Shannon, your man Bron, he's having a rough ride here at the end of this season because one day Kareem Abdul-Jabbar takes shots. I thought they were cheap shots, low blows, out of bounds shots. But then the very next day, I'm hearing, wait a second, Magic is taking shots?
Yeah. When Magic talk, people listen, though.
That is true. That is a fact. But remember, Winning Time on HBO is starting to catch fire. I think it got off to a little bit of a slow start because so much was going on around it, but slowly but surely I'm hearing from a lot of people around me in my little circle, and they're starting to get into it.
Right.
I've watched 3 episodes. I haven't quite caught up yet, but it's starting to catch fire for me. My problem is I lived through it, so it's I'm watching somebody play Magic, and I don't. He's doing the best he can do, but Magic's still with us, and I know Magic, and I knew him when he was a rookie, and I just can't get there.
Skip, that's the thing for me. I watched the first episode, but I don't like the negative portrayal that they have of Magic. So I was like, nah, I can't do that.
All right. And
what
then
about Jerry West?
Portrayal of Jerry West, but that's just me because I'm a fan of his.
Right.
And he is greatness to me, but he did make one mistake. He did not want Magic Johnson with the first overall pick. Okay, so I think that's a fact. He did. He wanted Sidney Moncrief out of Arkansas, and that's who Larry Bird had knocked off in the regional finals to get to Magic in the Final Four. Okay, the point is, Magic is slinging it here because he goes right at LeBron by name, and he says it's his fault because the way he understands it from the agent, he says the agent called him that DeMar wants to come home. Well, to your point, I'm sure he was also talking to the real GM of the Lakers.
Correct.
And does Magic still have a little bitterness toward how it all fell? Sure he does.
Because remember, he was talking about how, people was going behind his back and saying things and doing things. And for all indication, people believe he was talking about Rob.
Okay. So the point is, I don't know exactly the timeline of this. But Magic's view of it is that he could have been a Laker instead of a Bull, but when Russell and LeBron and them started talking, AD,
I guess,
which is collusion, right?
That's when
Ain't
they
that
nixed
collusion?
the deal and went with Westbrook. Okay, so he's just flat out laying it at
Shouldn't that be a
LeBron's feet,
fine?
saying, "Hey, that's
my
that's
bad.
on
This is
you,
LeBron
big
James
man,
we talking
because
about. He can do whatever he
you have
wants. He can
this."
do no wrong.
And then the fallout from it that he points out is
Right?
that you had a chance if you go DeRozan free agent. You have a chance to keep your role players. You could keep Caruso and you could keep KCP. And he said those guys who are our best defenders, they left, and that's why we were a bad defensive team. He's doing it in the past tense, like they're done for this year.
Yeah, well, they are. He knows.
Okay, all right. But he says if you sign DeRozan, you only trade Kuzma for Buddy Hield. That'd be a sweet move if you could do it all. Okay. Then he says we would be playing in the Western Conference Finals. Well, you have to stay healthy. There are a lot of X factors in there, but maybe so.
But Skip, don't you think? Let's say LeBron goes out, AD and DeRozan are a better match.
I would agree.
Westbrook and AD. AD goes out. LeBron is a better match with DeRozan than he is Westbrook.
Okay.
Because now DeRozan can also facilitate. But Skip, his mid-range game.
Okay, just for the record, because I do follow the Spurs, it's hard for me to love them quite as much as the Duncan Parker Ginobili,
Right.
but I watched them carefully for the couple of years DeMar was there as their go-to guy, and trust me, he wasn't this guy that the guy who reemerged in Chicago is spectacular. For a while, I thought he was going to win the MVP.
But Skip, you know, Spurs got a system. It's kind of like this, kind of like Michael Jordan at UNC.
Yeah,
You like, hold up, I didn't. Why were you doing that at UNC? Because you're gonna play Coach Smith's way. That's it. You're gonna play Coach Pop's way, and really nobody gets outside of that purview. So it's really hard to tell.
Pop always said Ginobili could lead this league in scoring if he didn't play for me.
Right.
Okay, so
I mean, think about it. He had to show Kawhi, get out there and score 25, 26. I'm tired of you scoring 12 just sitting back here. Get out and do it. And then Kawhi took off.
All right. So this is a pretty damning shot that he takes at LeBron because he's just saying it's your fault because you got caught up in Westbrook. And I do believe LeBron got caught up in the star power of a guy who for the last 5 years had averaged a triple-double. It's impossibly great.
What are the Lakers known for? Stars. Will Chamberlain, Kareem,
okay,
Shaq.
It's almost ironically the theme of Winning Time was that Jerry Buss, as a fledgling new owner who didn't have a clue, said, well, wait a second, I don't want Sidney Moncrief. I want this guy with this smile.
Yes.
I want that guy because he's a star, and this is Hollywood, baby.
Yes.
And Dr. Buss was very caught up in the Hollywood scene and lifestyle, and he's like, nobody's coming to these games. They'll come and see that guy. I don't think they'll come and see Sidney Moncrief.
Right.
Okay, and he was correct about that, and that launched Winning Time, as that was Magic's
Sidney Moncrief had a nice career. He's in the Hall of Fame. He ain't Magic.
Okay, but the problem is Westbrook isn't Magic.
Right.
Like, Westbrook, to me, got exposed. Westbrook is fraudulent because he's a stat machine who cares only about his personal stats, and he prioritizes personal stats over winning basketball games.
And that works in OKC.
Don't LeBron do that
works
too?
in Houston.
No doubt.
That works
It
in
really worked in
That's
Washington.
not going to fly
My
here
bad. We
because
can't
they
talk
know
about
great
Kane
basketball.
like that,
They've
right?
seen winning basketball
They have.
from the 70 Lakers, the 80 Lakers, the early 2000 Lakers, and the 29, 2010 Lakers with Kobe. So they know winning. They're not – see, Russ thought he could come home, play like he's been playing, lose, and he will still be embraced because I'm the hometown kid. And the Laker Nation say, oh, no, hell no. We love you. We understand you still a Laker. I mean, you're a hometown LA kid, but we value winning more than hometown heroes. So if you're not going to win, that's why they haven't embraced him, and they boo, and he gets upset. Well, I don't even pay these fans no mind. His home fans, he don't pay them any mind because they're unwilling. They will not accept the type brand of basketball that he plays that does not lead to winning.
Agreed. And furthermore, I believe LeBron James, extremely high basketball IQ, looked at this and said, now wait a second. I have a chance here to show the basketball world I can pull off something KD rejected. He said, I can't do it with this guy. Paul George rejected it. James Harden rejected Russ. They all just said, no, no, no.
Right.
Bradley Beal did not reject, but they weren't going anywhere.
Right.
But
and Bradley Beal was like, nah, Russ, stay. Hey, y'all keep Russ.
No.
He was like, okay.
Okay, so.
Yeah. So you heard all of this cockamamie bullshit, right? You heard all this cockamamie bullshit, right? Oh, well, you know, everything Kareem says out of bounds. Oh, everything Magic saying is just dissing Rob Pelinka. Bullshit. Y'all gonna hear a lot of FUs and shits in this video because I told you guys from the get-go on my other video. I told y'all so. LeBron James is not a top 100 player. He's not. He gets the most passes, the most excuses, and everything by the media. Why isn't he being held to the standards that Kobe was held to? Kareem was held to. Michael was held to. You know, they were at one point saying Kareem, you know, he's a great guy against statistics and scoring and doing all these things, but he doesn't have the winning intangibles. They were calling him like a Wilt. They were comparing him more to Wilt than they were to Bill Russell, because those are the pinnacles. People are either going to compare you to Wilt, which is you're a great scorer, great shooter, everything, like you can score the ball. But also what people fail to realize, Wilt is probably the greatest passer at the center position that we've ever seen. But he doesn't get that recognition because he wasn't winning a lot of championships. And he was disrespected. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was very stoic. He's like I am. We're very terrible interviewers. Like, we don't like people at all. So I don't see him being jealous or envious of LeBron. He's not. He's just seen this guy as the phony ass bastard that he is. And yes, he's a bastard. If you don't like my disrespect, hey, I don't give a shit. Because I've been disrespected. The world's been disrespectful. That's the way it is. But you guys will accept kissing ass and not telling the truth, as opposed to telling the truth and putting foots in asses. That's what I do. You know, everyone got mad at me. People got mad at me last night talking about Errol Spence flew through the thing and hit the thing hard. That's the hardest he's ever hit, which is the truth. I didn't tell that dumbass dude to drink some alcohol and go drive out there. What do you think the consequences are going to be? It's consequences to every decision you make. We are living in a spoiled world, and that's why everything is trash. Right? This guy has put personal statistics over winning for his whole career. If he won, he didn't win nothing. They gave him those championships. He didn't go win anything. He played against a young OKC team that had no business being there. They screwed the Spurs. The Spurs was going to win everything until James Harden just went crazy from three off the bench and just blew them out the water. And they got to the championship. But then the next 2 years, Ray Allen saved them the following year. LeBron was having one of his great games, and then he started choking down the stretch. And then Ray Allen had to hit the shot, and in Game 7, Mike Miller and I think it was Chalmers went off to seal the deal. And, you know, LeBron did his front running rendition like he always does. And then you had the following year. What happened the following year? He gonna have cramps. Should I say PEDs, HGH allegedly, because those are the symptoms of if you're taking those supplements, things like that. It drains you of water out of your system. So that's why you saw him catching cramps. And all this is allegedly, by the way, and also Fair Use Act. Now, you saw how they tried to paint Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as the villain. Now, I don't agree with everything. I think Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is I believe he's a coon. I believe that he is a company man. And that's why he came out and cleaned up his words and stuff. Because the Lakers just want him around for his record to be beaten, so then they could just have him celebrate, and then they're going to sacrifice him most likely like Kobe. Because they did the same thing to Wilt Chamberlain. Remember when Michael Jordan passed Wilt Chamberlain for the most points in the All-Star game history or something like that, right? And then Wilt Chamberlain shook his head, put his head down, was upset because Wilt Chamberlain knew his time was up. And then all of a sudden, he just passes away the following week or something. He just dies. All this allegedly, by the way. So they sacrificed him just like they did Kobe. They sacrificed Kobe. Everybody like, why didn't they sacrifice Michael? Because Michael's a company guy. Michael, the NBA will never do that because they love Michael. Michael made the NBA more money than any athlete ever in history. And that's facts. So they're not going to get rid of him like that. But Kobe, they like, we don't care. But see, they messed up when they got rid of Kobe. They didn't know Kobe's impact was that great. And it was. Kobe Bryant in death has outshined LeBron James' whole career, even when he was living. That's what I'm telling you. Kobe Bryant was for the people. after we saw that they crucified him and tore him down, tried to make this man into crap, and he went out there every day playing hard, doing what he does, working hard, dying for the cause. Even when his teams were at his lowest, he could have gone anywhere else. He could have did what LeBron did. He could have did what KD did. He could have did what a lot of these guys did. But you know what he did? He could have did what Charles Barkley did. But you know what he did? He said, no, I'm going to stay here. And he stayed there, and guess what? He's been glorified. He's been needed. He's getting more glorification now than he ever did in his career by other people. The media is doing their best to tear him down, but they can't do it. Now LeBron James being exposed for what he is, a selfish-ass bitch. That's what he is, a selfish-ass bitch. But you guys love him so much, y'all gobble his nutsack so much. Then he talking about what he does for the community. How he doing something for the community when Akron is leading everything in poverty, in eviction rates? His school is single-handedly shut down other schools in the area because they're not making money, because that school that is his is pulling all the funding. But we're not going to talk about that, right? We're just going to have Shannon Guzzler not so sharp with the big stick sucking lips, the stick sucking lips over here. It's like, come on. And then you got Skip talking about, well, I'm going to defend LeBron. Man, shut your soft ass up. Didn't you average 2 points in high school talking about, and you were playing on JV as a senior? Bro, you was playing on JV as a senior. I see if you were on varsity. You were on JV. So stop your caps. Y'all got to stop all this capping and call out the real. So what? Kareem, so you guys, y'all just destroyed Kareem, basically said whatever he said ain't mean nothing. Now what about Magic? Oh, you saw how they tried to point it all. Oh, he's taking shots at Rob Pelinka. No, he's taking shots at that bald-headed bitch on the end of the damn bench of the Lakers with a damn Cartier frames or whatever them glasses are on his face, with a repatched hairline. With a repatched hairline. You know. So it's like, it's not hate. It's just nobody cares. People are tired of it. Right? People are tired of it. People are real tired of it, man. You know, people tired of it. So, you know, you got to look at this situation, man. Y'all got to stop falling for that banana in the tailpipe, because the media is doing their best to try to say about LeBron and everything. Oh man, you know, they're trying to cover up for him. You know, LeBron does this all the damn time. All the damn time LeBron does this. He always makes an excuse. He's going to trade a bunch of players, and then he's going to come back. Then there's going to be another excuse. It's always an excuse with him, but he make people better. You know, it's just a travesty at how this is. It's just a travesty. It's a travesty, man, at how this is, and how they've just you know, done this. Like how they've just tried to cover this up and everything, and this is just it's pissing me off. But this is the truth. Magic and Kareem called out LeBrownies BS, And I agree with them. You know, you put this team together, nigga, go out there and salvage it. But you're not built like that. And I told people this 10 years ago. He's not built like a Kobe Bryant or a Michael Jordan. So stop with the goddamn stats. Stop. Everybody's tired of these stats and this BS that you keep presenting to us. It's all lies. It's all lies. They've lied to you for 20-some years about this bum-ass dude. And I don't care if you guys, I told you, he's not top 100. He's not. You guys can get mad. Y'all can go cry in the corner. I don't give a shit. None of this is for shock value. I spit the real. So thank you guys for listening, man. Like, comment, subscribe, share this. Hit the notification bell to select all to receive upcoming notifications. And if y'all love what y'all hear, y'all can donate to the page by going to my link. Hitting that link, it'll take you to my Cash App. You guys can donate whatever your heart desire. Whenever the video premiere or go live, you guys can donate. Y'all can super chat, man. And then if you guys want to reach me, my email is in the description box, all right? Thank you guys, man. Might as well give shout outs. You know, shout out to the Big Bro Casino for Life, One Crack News, Screen Fiend, Kevin Davis, his Patreon, which is popping. I think he just dropped something on the Masons. I'm gonna look at that. VIP, baby. Let's see. C-Pen for the win. Whenever you come back with the show, he's real busy. But until the show come out, man, we'll hold you down, C-Pen. Who did it this time? Who did it has some great videos the other day, man. Y'all got to go check that channel out. He spit nothing but the real over there. Scrub Zero, Flawless Victory. You know, his thing is popping. Go to his page. Who I'm missing? Strictly Unapologetic. Strictly got some things going on over there. Jeff Bone the Bonehead. I think he does music too. You know, he got a good page, man. Go look after my dog. My dog doing his thing over there. Lobo, L0B0 Beach. You know, he's doing his thing. Make sure you go to his page. I think he got a second page. You know, I got a second. I think I got 3 other pages, but I'm not really doing nothing with them right now. I'm chilling. I want to blow my page up first, and then I'll bring those out. But if y'all so happen to find them, they probably ain't been sitting there, so nobody's really subscribed to them. Y'all guys can check it out. We got some stuff over there, but I'll do that. I'll do those later. You know, those channels are young still. I'll grow them when it's time to. Trying to think, is that it? I think that's everybody I mentioned. But yeah, man. Shout out to everybody else, man, who subscribed to the page, who continues to support. I got some more videos coming today. I'm gonna try to drop a whole bunch on y'all. I got the day off today because tomorrow it's gonna be back to 2 videos. So thank you guys, man. Love y'all. Have a nice day. We out. Deezy.